Oh, it's good to be with you. Oh, look at this. We're together again today. I'm giving thanks that we are together, and the we includes all the universal family, from the top to lowly creatures like we are, together today. I want to start out with a metaphor. And the metaphor comes from real life. Call it a parable if you like. And this is a metaphor about birds. And I don't know about your experience with birds, but I've got a friend who tells me birds are very intelligent. And I started to look at them more and pay attention and to appreciate birds. And there's a pair of cardinals that's nearby, and there are blue jays and robins and these sparrows and all kinds of birds around. And they got blue herons not too far away. And the blue herons is making me think of pelicans and seagulls and these birds that go out into the ocean and catch a fish and come back, sometimes long distances, to feed their chicks. Those birds have to have an evolutionary strategy for dealing with the possibility that other birds can go snatch that fish out of their beak. So what they do is they take it in and they begin the digestion process. And then certain kinds of seagulls have well, they have a beak that comes out like that. And you know what? It kind of, right at the end, it bends down and you've got an orangish reddish spot right there. And the little chick pecks that spot and that stimulates the regurgitation. So up from the mother's, or maybe, I don't know if father birds do this, but up come the stomach. Here's the fish prepared for the chick. And that's how the nourishing process goes for that particular, these kinds of gulls and other species that do this. Oh my. All right, that's my parable connection image of Jesus, who at a certain point, a very high drama point in his public teaching career, said, I am the bread of life. I am the bread of life. He's talking to people for whom bread is survival, day to day, poor people, some of them right on the edge that got to find work day by day to be able to buy their daily bread for the next day. Okay, so the bread of life, something essential we can get by turning to Jesus. And later on, when he established the sacrament of bread and wine, he said, do this in remembrance of me. So it's not only that awesome person to person taking in of life from Jesus into ourselves, but we're remembering perhaps episodes from that life, like age 12 and his mother interrupts him when he's teaching in the temple and the way he responds to her. Or later when Nicodemus comes to see him saying, man, you're connected. What have you got? I want more of this. And how he responds with Nicodemus, or when he's with the woman from Samaria at that well. Or, I mean, the stories go on, these interactions. And when we allow these, the remembrance, when we take these in and think about them in the mind and let them sink deep into the soul to where they start to affect our way of interacting, oh, then it's a whole new ball game. And what we have to give to others is so very different. Now, that's my segue to another story. And this one, this one is, well, in the advertising business, it is well known about cereal boxes, that people read cereal boxes. They're having their breakfast and they got the cereal box. People read those boxes. All right, now I don't have pizza very much, but I had pizza recently. I'm reading the pizza box as I'm having my, and at the bottom, I'm not mentioning the names, but I am celebrating the advertising agency that created the cereal box. And I'm celebrating the company that bought that ad, because it's very challenging to the consumer. You're sitting there eating, oh man, this pizza. You're not thinking of anybody, you're just kind of filling yourself with pizza. And then what does it say at the bottom of the box? Stop reading, start sharing, big red letters. Stop reading, start sharing. What? You know, this is jolting me out of my fill my face with food mentality. Start sharing. So I start to think about that. And oh, what a great, who cannot go to the next level somehow in sharing with others? And when I think about sharing the truths that Jesus taught and that he lived, like the greatest commandment is to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and our neighbor as ourselves, and so on. How am I doing at that? In the last comparison I'd like to offer you has to do with a way of rating our exercise. For exercise, there are lots of goals. There are strength goals, which are very, very important goals, and they're cardiovascular goals that get that heart rate up. And there's a way of subjectively measuring your heart rate. It's called an RPE scale, rate of perceived exertion, and there's a scale from 1 to 10. And level 1, you're just sitting on the couch, eating pizza. Level 2, you're starting to get moving. You could do this all day long. Level 3, you're noticing your heart rate is, there's a little bit more exertion. Maybe you've broken a sweat. Level 4, you can still carry on a conversation easily. Level 5, it's a, where is it? But the idea is the heart is pounding more, and you're breaking more of a sweat, and it's getting harder and harder to carry on a conversation or even talk at all. And there are these levels from 1 to 10. And I'm just thinking, what kind of level of exertion and engagement and mobilization is ours as we share that bread of life, that spiritual truth, that God is our Father, and we are his sons and daughters. And that this truth, if we wholeheartedly believe it, take it in and nourish ourselves on it, will lead to that spirit of truth that takes us into all truth. And I'm not going to preach to you anymore today. But always know, no matter what's going on in your life or in our world, that you are divinely created, infinitely loved, spiritually indwelt, evolutionary, yes, free will, let's go for it, son or daughter of the living God. Good day.